What if the night sky wasn't just a map to our ancestors, but a symphony of vibrations they could physically feel? Forget horoscopes and star charts for a second. Picture this. Instead of tracking constellations, ancient people sensed the stars through vibrations in their bones, like cosmic tuning forks. Some cultures built megalithic structures aligned not just visually, but acoustically, channeling the hum of the universe. The pyramids, stone spheres in Costa Rica, maybe they resonated with celestial frequencies we've forgotten how to hear. Could the ancients have interpreted the cosmos not just with their eyes, but with their entire bodies? Do you think modern science will ever rediscover this lost sense? Drop a star emoji if you believe there's more to the sky than meets the eye. What if I told you that just having a word for blue could determine whether you see it at all? Think about it, languages don't all name colors the same way. Some ancient cultures had no word for blue, literally describing the sky and sea as shades of dark or light. And weirdly, studies show that people with distinct words for colors spot the differences faster than those who don't. It's called categorical perception. Your brain carves up the visible spectrum based on labels. The Himba tribe in Namibia, for example, doesn't have a separate word for green and blue. When tested, they struggled to pick out a blue square among greens, while English speakers spotted it instantly. Crazy, right? The takeaway: the words we use shape what we notice down to the very fabric of reality. Do you think your language limits what you see? Drop a color that fascinates you below. What if mermaids weren't just fairy tales, but messengers from an ancient ocean mind, one we forgot how to hear? Picture this. For centuries, sailors returned from the sea with wild tales of enchanting creatures, mermaids luring ships to safety, sirens singing men into the depths. But what if these weren't monsters or myths? What if they were glimpses of something much deeper? Ancient cultures saw the ocean not just as water, but as a living, thinking force. Polynesian navigators spoke to the sea like a friend. Indigenous coastal tribes believed waves carried wisdom. Maybe mermaids weren't creatures. They were echoes of that vast, knowing ocean trying to communicate with us. Now science is catching up, studying ocean bioelectric fields, collective intelligence in marine life. The water remembers, it pulses, communicates, reacts. So here's the real question: could the legends be right? Could the ocean be alive and waiting for us to listen again? What do you think, myth or hidden history? Drop your thoughts below and follow for more deep dives into the unknown. Imagine a world where nothing was something so controversial it sparked revolutions, not just in math but in human thought itself. Picture ancient mathematicians scratching their heads. How could nothing be a number? For centuries, many civilizations resisted zero, dismissing it as nonsense or even blasphemy. Without it, advanced math was stuck. But once embraced, zero became a game changer, unlocking algebra, calculus, and even modern computing. It reshaped philosophy too, forcing thinkers to grapple with emptiness, infinity, and the concept of absence. Without zero, modern tech wouldn't exist. A simple circle rewrote reality. Crazy how nothing changed everything, right? Drop a comment. Would math even work without zero? What if the language you speak doesn't just describe reality, but secretly rewires it inside your brain? Imagine a tribe deep in the Amazon where left and right don't exist. Instead, they navigate their world using compass directions, north, south, east, west, for everything, even saying things like, "There's an ant on your southwest leg." But this isn't just a quirk, it changes how they perceive reality. Studies show they have an almost superhuman sense of direction, even in unfamiliar territory. Their language forces them to constantly track their surroundings, embedding an entirely different mental map of space, and even time. Because when their sentences structure events based on cardinal directions, time isn't linear, it's woven into the landscape. And it raises a wild question: could your language be trapping you in a limited version of the world? So would you trade left and right for an unshakable sense of direction? Drop a yes or no below, and follow for more mind-bending discoveries. What if I told you that simply speaking English or Chinese could alter how you experience time itself? Imagine this: English speakers often think of time as horizontal, saying things like the past is behind us or the future is ahead. But for Mandarin speakers, time often moves vertically. Yesterday is up and tomorrow is down. Even wilder. Some indigenous languages don't use words for before or after. Instead, time is understood by the sun's movement or events, not as a straight line. That means they might not stress about deadlines the same way because time isn't a ticking clock but a cycle of moments. So is time really universal? Or does your language rewrite the rules? Which way do you see time, horizontally, vertically, or totally differently? Drop your thoughts below. Right now you have countless thoughts racing in your mind. Almost none are new. Every day your brain processes countless thoughts, but shocking truth is, most are recycled. You have probably had the same thought today as yesterday, unknowingly. By becoming aware of this replay, we can start to spark true innovation. Can you recall your most original thought today? Share below. What if the way you say water or car isn't just culture, it's chemistry? Imagine moving to a new town and picking up their accent. Sounds cultural, right? But here's a wild thought. What if it's partially biological? Recent theories suggest that slight differences in saliva composition could subtly alter how our mouth shape sounds. Thicker saliva might make certain consonants stickier, while thinner saliva could help vowels flow smoother. It sounds crazy, but think about it. Why else would people from the same region, eating similar diets, develop such distinct speech quirks? Maybe it's not just about who taught you to talk, but what's literally in your mouth. So next time someone says you sound different, blame your spit. Ready to rethink how you speak? Drop your wildest language theories below. Did you know that simply giving a color a name could change the way entire civilizations see it, literally? Imagine looking at a shade of blue. Now, what if your language didn't have a word for it? Studies show that cultures without distinct names for colors like green and blue struggle to tell them apart. Their brains literally process them as the same. But once a name is introduced, perception shifts. The Himba tribe, for example, couldn't differentiate blue from green until taught the words. Then their brains started seeing them as separate. This isn't just about color, it's about how language carves reality. The more words we have, the richer our sensory world becomes. So next time you call something turquoise instead of just blue, think, you're not just labeling, you're expanding your brain's canvas. Ever wondered how your language shapes what you see? Drop your thoughts below. What color names fascinate you most? What if I told you your DNA could be hiding memories from thousands of years ago? Imagine this. Your DNA doesn't just determine your eye color or height. Some scientists believe it could carry something even more mysterious. The imprints of your ancestors' memories. Think about it. Generations of experiences, emotions, and knowledge could be locked inside your genes, waiting to be unlocked. Studies suggest that trauma, survival instincts, and even skills could be passed down biologically, influencing who you are today. While it sounds like sci-fi, the idea raises wild questions. Could we tap into our ancestors' wisdom? Could fear, resilience, or even artistic talent be inherited along with our genes? The more we uncover about DNA, the more it seems like the ultimate time capsule of human history, hidden in plain sight. Would you want to unlock your ancestral memories? Drop a comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What if I told you the color blue wasn't always blue? The way we see the world might be a cultural trick. Think about it. The ancient Greeks didn't even have a word for blue. They're descriptions of the sky. More like bronze or wine dark. Why? Because without language for a color, it's almost invisible. Fast forward to today, different cultures categorize colors in radically different ways. Some see green and blue as one shade, others split red into multiple distinct tones. It's not just biology, it's conditioning. Studies show people actually perceive colors differently based on their language's vocabulary for them. So next time you argue over, is that dress blue or gold? Maybe you're both right, in your own culturally programmed way. Ever had a color debate with friends? Drop your wildest examples in the comments. Let's see how culture shapes our eyes. What if the way you speak today was determined by people who walked the earth thousands of years ago? Think about the words you use every day. Your words might not just be shaped by friends and family, but by ancient wanderers who crossed continents. When early humans migrated, they didn't just carry tools and traditions, they carried language. Over time, as groups split and settled, their dialects branched into entirely new tongues. The similarities between languages like Spanish, English, and Hindi, they all trace back to a single ancestor spoken by nomads in the Eurasian steppes. Even today, hidden in your speech are echoes of long-forgotten travelers. So next time you chat with someone, remember, You might be honoring an ancient migration with every word. What's one word you use today that you think has ancient origins? Drop it in the comments. What if I told you the real tool-making masters aren't humans? It's birds with brains sharper than their beaks. For decades, we thought only humans could engineer tools, until scientists discovered crows and magpies bending twigs into hooks, sculpting leaves into spears, even using rocks to crack nuts. These feathered Einsteins don't just use tools, they invent them, solving puzzles that stump toddlers. One crow crafted a wire hook to fish food from a tube in seconds, no instructions, just pure problem-solving. Another stacked boxes to reach a dangling treat, planning moves like a chess grandmaster. These discoveries shattered the myth of human uniqueness, proving intelligence isn't one-size-fits-all. If a bird can outthink a lab test, what else are we underestimating in nature? Ever seen an animal do something brilliantly clever? Drop your wildest stories below. What if I told you the ancient alchemists weren't just mixing potions? They were decoding the quantum secrets of reality itself. Forget what you think you know about alchemy, those cryptic symbols and hidden texts. They weren't just about turning lead into gold, they were talking about turning thought into matter. Ancient alchemists believed transformation wasn't just chemical but energetic. Sound familiar? It's eerily close to modern quantum physics, where particles change states based on observation, like consciousness itself shapes reality. The wildest part? They hinted that emotions were the missing ingredient, the catalyst for real-world shifts. Fear, love, anger, what if those weren't just feelings but tools to reshape existence? Alchemy's biggest secret might have been this. We don't just discover reality, we create it. What do you think? Could emotions really reshape reality? Drop your thoughts below. What if I told you that the words you speak don't just describe your world, they actively shape it? Think about color for a second. Some languages don't have separate words for green and blue, they use one term for both. And guess what? Speakers of those languages actually struggle to tell the difference between shades we'd instantly recognize as distinct. Then there's time. English speakers tend to see time moving horizontally, left to right. But Mandarin speakers, they visualize it vertically, up and down. Even directions change based on language. Some dialects rely on cardinal directions, north, south, rather than left and right. So if you asked them to point left, they might hesitate until they knew which way was north. Crazy, right? Your brain isn't just processing reality, it's constructing it through the lens of language. So what about you? Does your language change how you see things? Drop a comment and hit like for more mind-bending facts. Imagine if an octopus could blush with embarrassment or flash red in anger. What if their hypnotic color changes are actually a secret code of emotions? Octopuses are masters of disguise, shifting colors and textures in the blink of an eye to vanish into their surroundings. But scientists are now uncovering something even more fascinating. Their patterns might not just be for hiding. Some researchers believe these rapid shifts could be a sophisticated form of communication, a silent language rippling across their skin. When an octopus flares bold stripes, is it signaling aggression? When it pulses soft blues, is it calm or curious? And during mesmerizing displays of rippling hues, could that be deep-sea poetry? We're only beginning to crack this code, but one thing's certain. If octopuses are talking through their skin, the ocean is way more chatty than we ever imagined. Think octopus words could be real. Drop your wildest theory below. Let's decode the deep together. Imagine every word you speak carving a tiny groove into your brain, because that's exactly what's happening every single day. Think of your brain like wet clay, soft, adaptable, waiting to be shaped. Every conversation, every sentence you speak, isn't just sending ideas into the world, it's literally reshaping your mind. Studies suggest that language doesn't just describe reality, it rewires it. The more you speak, the deeper those neural pathways form, influencing how you think, feel, and even how you see yourself. It's not just communication, it's construction. Your voice isn't just sharing thoughts, it's building who you are. Ever noticed how language changes the way you think? Drop your thoughts below and follow for more mind-bending insights. What if Latin names weren't just for science, but for control? Ever wonder why plants and animals have Latin names like Homo sapiens or Rosa rubiginosa? Sure, it helps scientists avoid confusion, but some argue it's deeper than that. Latin was the language of scholars, the elite, the powerful. By naming species in Latin, early scientists essentially stamped their authority onto nature, claiming dominion over living things under the guise of order. It wasn't just about classification, it was about conquest. Imagine if every plant or animal kept its indigenous name, names given by cultures with deep ties to the land. Would science still rule the natural world in the same way? So should Latin names stay, or should we rethink scientific naming? Drop your thoughts in the comments. What if I told you that crystals might not just be pretty rocks, but tools that reveal how your emotions literally reshape your body at a molecular level? For centuries, healers have claimed that crystals can balance energy and promote wellness. But what if there's real science behind it? Modern research shows that emotions, like stress or joy, directly affect our cells, even altering DNA expression. Crystals vibrate at specific frequencies, and some scientists believe these vibrations might interact with our body's own energetic field, possibly influencing cellular behavior. The placebo effect proves how belief alone can trigger physical changes. So could ancient crystal rituals actually be harnessing this mind-body connection? Whether you view it as metaphysics or subtle physics shifting our chemistry, one thing's clear: your emotions hold serious power over your biology. What do you think? Could crystals be more than spiritual symbols? Drop your thoughts in the comments. What if your love for bright blues or soft browns isn't just personal taste, but a hidden legacy from your ancestors? Think about it. Why do some cultures celebrate neon festivals while others weave minimalist art from earthy tones? It might not just be tradition. Our ancestors evolved in wildly different environments, shaping how they needed to see the world. Jungle-dwelling societies. Their eyes adapted to spot ripe fruit in lush greenery. Vibrant reds and yellows screamed, "Eat me!" Meanwhile, Arctic communities thrived by reading subtle shifts in snow and ice. Muted palettes became survival tools. Even language reflects this. Some cultures have dozens of words for blue because their world depended on reading skies and seas. So next time you pick a color, ask, "Is this me?" Or centuries of evolution whispering in your brain. Drop your favorite color below. Do you think it connects to your roots? Follow for more mind-bending facts. What if every flower's bloom and every sunset's glow isn't just pretty, but a coded message waiting to be read? Imagine walking through a forest, surrounded by greens, reds, and golds. Now, what if those colors aren't random? They're Earth's way of speaking to us. Some believe vibrant hues in nature carry hidden signals, a silent language inviting us to reconnect. Think about bees drawn to bright petals like magnets. Or autumn leaves, signaling change in a fiery display. Even the deep blue of the ocean whispers calm. What if Earth is constantly communicating through color, nudging us to remember we're part of something bigger? Next time you see a sunset, pause. Maybe it's not just beauty, it's a message. Have you ever felt a deeper meaning in nature's colors? Share your thoughts below, Herb. Have you ever felt like the words, "I love you," just aren't enough? What if our languages are secretly capping how much love we can even express? Think about it. Some languages have dozens of words for love, while others struggle to capture its shades. English gives us a single word to describe everything from pizza to family. But love isn't one size fits all. Ancient Greeks had multiple words, like philia for friendship, eros for passion, agape for unconditional love. Meanwhile, Mandarin uses Chinese letter ai for love, but context changes everything. Even the structure of our sentences can box in emotion. When you say, "I love you," are you really saying everything you feel? Or just what your language lets you say? Maybe that frustration, that sense that words fall short, isn't about your heart, but about the limits of your vocabulary. Ever felt like language failed to capture your emotions? Drop a red if you've struggled to put love into words. What if the pyramids, temples, and cathedrals weren't just stunning feats of design, but cosmic keys meant to awaken something inside us? Think about it. From the spirals of the Fibonacci sequence to the perfection of the golden ratio, sacred geometry repeats itself in nature, in us, and in the world's most mysterious structures. Ancient civilizations didn't have modern tech, but they had knowledge, deep, intuitive mastery of shapes that resonate with the universe itself. Could it be that these patterns aren't just about beauty, but function? Some researchers suggest that these designs vibrate at frequencies aligning with human DNA, acting like tuning forks for consciousness. The more we study them, the more it seems they weren't just building for the eyes, but for the soul. Imagine walking through a temple where every angle and curve is a deliberate message, whispering to your cells and your mind, guiding you towards something greater. Maybe those old myths about structures holding hidden power weren't myths after all. What do you think? Did ancient architects know something we're only now rediscovering? Drop your thoughts below and hit follow for more mind-expanding mysteries. What if the same geometric patterns used to build sacred temples could also unlock dormant abilities hidden deep inside your DNA? For thousands of years, sacred geometry has been the hidden blueprint behind temples, cathedrals, and ancient monuments, structures designed to harness energy. But what if these shapes, like the flower of life or Metatron's cube, do more than just map sacred spaces? Some believe these patterns resonate at frequencies that interact with our DNA, acting like a cosmic code that, when decoded, could awaken extraordinary abilities. Think about it, our DNA is made of spirals, just like the golden ratio found in nature. Could tapping into these geometric codes enhance intuition, healing, or even untapped human potential? The ancients thought so, and modern science is just scratching the surface. Do you think sacred geometry could unlock human evolution? Drop a yes below if you believe there's more to these ancient codes. Picture this: what if the colors you see aren't just science, but a story your brain tells you based on the words you know? It's wild to think, but your ability to see colors might not just be about biology. Your language could be shaping it. Some cultures don't distinguish between blue and green, using a single word for both. Others can spot subtle shades of red faster because their language has more words for it. Studies show that when we name a color, our brain actually processes it differently. So that deep red rose, the way you see it might be tuned by the words you grew up with. Scientists call this the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, a fancy way of saying language doesn't just describe reality, it shapes it. So, do you think you'd see colors differently if you spoke another language? Drop your thoughts below. Imagine someone drilling a hole in your skull on purpose. Believe it or not, that's exactly what ancient civilizations did as a medical practice, and it might have actually worked. Thousands of years before MRIs and modern medicine, people across the world, from Europe to the Americas, were performing trepanation, a type of surgery where holes were drilled or scraped into the skull. But why? Some evidence suggests they believed it could treat headaches, seizures, or even mental illness. Shockingly, many skulls show signs of healing, meaning patients survived. Did ancient healers understand more about the brain than we think? They may not have known neuroscience, but they recognized that the mind was tied to the skull, and that altering it could change someone's health. While it sounds barbaric today, trepanation proves that curiosity about the brain is as old as humanity itself. Would you ever let an ancient surgeon try trepanation on you? Drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more wild stories from history. Imagine a world where the color blue was so rare, people believed only the gods could create it. For centuries, blue was almost non-existent in ancient art, because natural blue pigments were nearly impossible to find. The Egyptians cracked the code first, grinding lapis lazuli into a dazzling azure reserved for sacred statues and royal tombs. Across the Mediterranean, Greeks and Romans saw it as a divine rarity, associating it with the heavens. Even later, medieval painters struggled to afford ultramarine, made from the same precious stones, often saving it for the robes of holy figures. The scarcity of blue didn't just shape art. It shaped belief, wrapping the color in mythology and making it the ultimate symbol of the unreachable divine. Would you believe blue was once worth more than gold? Drop a blue heart if this blew your mind. Picture this: the word quarantine doesn't just mean isolation. It once hinted at society's deepest fear: radical change. Back in the 14th century, as the Black Death raged, Venice forced ships to anchor for 40 days before docking, a practice called quarantina, from the Italian for 40. But here's the twist. The number 40 wasn't random. It mirrored biblical floods, exiles, and testing periods, symbolic of purging the old to make way for the new. Authorities didn't just fear disease. They feared upheaval, new ideas, lost power, a world reshaped by survivors. So quarantine wasn't just medical control, it was social control. The next time you hear the word, remember, it wasn't just about stopping germs. It was about stopping change. So do you think modern quarantines still carry that same fear? Drop your thoughts below and follow for more untold histories. What if the stories you tell today could shape the biology of your future descendants? Imagine this, your DNA might be listening. Scientists are uncovering a wild idea. The stories we weave, the myths we believe, even the personal narratives we replay in our heads might do more than just shape culture. They could leave molecular fingerprints on our genes, altering how they express over generations. Think about ancestral trauma. Research shows past hardships can leave epigenetic marks, switching genes on or off. Now flip that. What if powerful, uplifting stories imprint too? Indigenous cultures have long believed stories carry the essence of life itself. Modern epigenetics hints they weren't wrong. Every tale you tell, about yourself, your struggles, your triumphs, might echo in ways deeper than you ever imagined. Your words aren't just sounds. They're signals rewriting you from the inside out. So what story will you tell today? Drop your thoughts below, and if this blew your mind, follow for more. Imagine a single phrase shouted on a blood-soaked battlefield that forever changed the course of human freedom. This is the untold battle cry behind democracy's birth. Picture this. 5th century BC, Persia's unstoppable war machine is crushing Greece. But one defiant shout echoed across the battlefield, not just a rallying cry, but a revolutionary idea. Soldiers, sick of kings and tyrants, roared isonomia, meaning equal rights under shared law. This wasn't just bravery, it was political dynamite. When the Greeks miraculously repelled Persia, that battle cry became their blueprint for society. Village councils replaced warlords, debates trumped decrees. The concept of rule by the people didn't emerge in quiet philosophy halls. It was forged in the chaos of war, where men who fought side by side refused to kneel afterward. The next time you vote, remember, democracy wasn't born in a marble senate. It was wrested from the jaws of empire with a slogan and a sword. Was democracy's violent origin a surprise? Drop your thoughts below and follow for more history with a twist. You might think dreams are just random brain clutter, but what if they're actually leftovers from an ancient survival program designed to keep our ancestors alive? Dreams feel chaotic, but there's growing evidence they might be evolutionary leftovers, like flashbacks to a time when social skills meant life or death. Imagine our ancestors navigating tight-knit tribes where every interaction, who to trust, how to react, was crucial. Some scientists suggest dreams act like virtual reality training, letting us simulate tricky social scenarios in a risk-free space. Failed negotiation, waking up embarrassed after a dream argument. That could be your brain sharpening skills to avoid real-world disaster. Maybe that's why so many dreams feel hypersocial, full of conversation, conflict, even betrayal. So do you think your dream has ever prepared you for real life? Drop your wildest dream story below and follow for more mind-bending theory. What if every time you close your eyes, you're not just dreaming, you're peeking into another version of yourself? Imagine this. The moment you drift off, your brain isn't just shuffling memories, it's tuning into frequencies of alternate realities. That déjà vu, maybe you've actually lived it in another timeline. That strange dream where you're a rock star or stranded on Mars. Those could be real paths you didn't take. Quantum physics suggests infinite possibilities exist at once, so why wouldn't your subconscious tap into them? Dreams might be more than random brain noise. They could be proof that every version of you is out there, somewhere, living the choices you didn't make. Ever had a dream that felt too real to just be fiction? Drop your craziest dream in the comments. Let's see how many realities we can uncover. What if I told you ancient civilizations might have used crystals not just for healing, but as a powerful tool to bend reality itself? Imagine stepping into a sacred temple where crystals aren't just arranged in intricate patterns. They're emitting vibrations at precise frequencies. These grids, believed by mystics to amplify energy, could have been far more advanced than we thought. Some researchers now suggest these configurations weren't just decorative. They may have harnessed resonance to subtly shift human perception. It's like an ancient form of frequency programming, embedding beliefs, emotions, or even shared visions into entire communities. Were these grids actually early mind control networks, shaping civilizations beneath our awareness? If so, the potential was, and maybe still is, limitless. What do you think? Could ancient cultures have used crystals to hack reality? Drop your theories below. Picture this: you walk into a forest, but beneath your feet, an entire network of secrets is silently humming between the trees. We all know trees share nutrients through their roots, but what if that's just the surface of something way weirder? Scientists have found that forests act almost like a giant brain, with trees sending chemical signals underground to warn each other about pests, droughts, or even predators. Some researchers think this isn't just survival, it's a shared intelligence, like the trees are working as one superorganism. Imagine an ancient, slow-motion conversation happening right under our feet. Some forests have mother trees that act as hubs for these exchanges, nurturing younger saplings like elders passing down wisdom. So next time you step into the woods, remember, you might not be walking among trees. You might be walking among minds. What do you think? Are forests alive in a way we don't yet understand? Drop your theories in the comments. What if the words you use to describe sadness or joy don't just label your feelings, they actually create them? Imagine this: some languages have words for emotions that English doesn't even have. In German, there's Sehnsucht, a deep longing for a life you've never lived. In Japanese, aware captures the bittersweet beauty of fleeting moments. Studies show that speakers of these languages don't just label emotions differently, they experience them differently. Your brain doesn't just register sadness or happiness, it leans on language to define what those feelings even mean. So next time you say you're heartbroken or over the moon, ask yourself, are you describing the emotion or is the word shaping it? The brain is listening. Which emotion do you wish had a word in your language? Drop it in the comments. What if I told you that your gut has more neurons than your brain, and it might be shaping your thoughts, feelings, and even decisions? For centuries, we've thought of consciousness as purely a brain thing, but science reveals something wild. Most of the neurons in your body aren't even in your skull, they're in your gut. This enteric nervous system controls digestion, but research suggests it does way more. Some scientists believe these gut neurons communicate with the brain, influencing mood, instincts, and even decision-making. Could gut feelings be real thoughts? Could anxiety start in your stomach? Maybe consciousness isn't just in your head, it could be a full-body conversation. So, do you think your gut is secretly running the show? Drop your thoughts below and follow for more mind-bending science. Imagine getting so fed up with bad service that your complaint ends up rewriting economic history. 4,000 years later. Back in ancient Mesopotamia, a copper merchant named Enasir was so notorious for selling shoddy goods that one furious customer inscribed his rage on a clay tablet, and it survived to this day. But this isn't just the world's oldest Yelp review. It reveals a thriving trade network, strict quality control standards, and even hints at early contract law. The tablet lists the copper as subpar and accuses Enasir of disrespect. But buried in the rant are details about shipping routes, pricing disputes, and merchant accountability. Turns out ancient buyers had protections and weren't afraid to use them. Would you trust Enasir with your copper? Drop a comment and follow for more mind-blowing history bites. Imagine if the way you talk changes how you see time, and science says it might. Some languages don't have words for past or future. They see time as one flowing timeline. Others describe time as distance, like a long trip versus a short break. Researchers found speakers of these languages literally think about time differently. Some picture it left to right, others front to back. Even stranger, bilingual people switch perspectives depending on which language they're using. That means your perception of deadlines, memories, even aging could all bend based on the words you know. Time isn't just ticking away, it's shaped by the stories we tell ourselves. How do you picture time in your head? Drop a comment and follow for more mind-expanding facts. What if the deepest secrets of your ancestors are coiled inside you right now, locked inside your DNA? Think about this. Every strand of DNA carries more than just genetic instructions. Some theories suggest it could hold memories, passed down through generations like a living library. Imagine your great-great-grandmother's triumphs, fears, even skills embedded in your cells, waiting to be unlocked through heightened awareness. Scientists already know trauma can leave molecular marks on DNA, so why not memories? Meditation, deep introspection, or even altered states might act as keys to tap into this ancestral archive. Wild, right? The idea isn't proven, but it reshapes what it means to inherit not just traits but experiences. If you could unlock one memory from your ancestors, what would you want to see? Drop your answers below. Blushing isn't just about embarrassment. It could be an ancient secret code that helped our ancestors survive. Picture this: you're in a tight-knit tribe thousands of years ago. Trust is everything. One wrong move could mean exile or worse. But how did our ancestors prove they weren't a threat? Enter blushing. That rush of heat to your face when you're embarrassed. It might have been nature's way of saying, "I'm harmless." Unlike fake smiles or forced words, a blush is involuntary, impossible to fake. That raw, honest reaction could have been a signal to others: "I'm vulnerable just like you." And in a world built on cooperation, that small flash of red may have been the key to acceptance, forgiveness, and deeper social bonds. What do you think? Is blushing just awkward, or was it a survival tool? Drop your thoughts below. Could you measure the entire planet with just a stick? The ancient Greeks did, with insane accuracy. Picture this: 240 BC, a guy in Egypt sticks a pole in the ground. At noon, the sun casts a shadow where it normally wouldn't, hundreds of miles south. That's the clue. He realized if he knew the angle of the shadow and the distance between two cities, boom, geometry could reveal Earth's full size. Calculate angles, multiply by distance, and bam, a shockingly close estimate to what we know today. No satellites, no lasers, just brains and shadows. Would you have figured this out back then? Drop your guesses in the comments. And follow for more genius history nuggets. What if I told you that the same branching pattern in a tree is mirrored in the veins of your body, and even in the shape of galaxies billions of light years away? Fractals are everywhere, nature's favorite blueprint. From the way lightning forks across the sky to the delicate spirals of seashells, they follow a repeating, self-similar design. But here's the wild part: these patterns aren't just random. Some scientists believe they might be proof of a deeper universal code, a hidden language woven into the fabric of reality. Think about it. Why do rivers branch like our lungs? Why do neuron networks resemble cosmic webs? It's as if the universe is subtly whispering that everything is connected. Maybe fractals aren't just beautiful, they're a message, one written in the language of stars and cells. Do you think nature's patterns hold a deeper meaning? Drop an emoji below, herb for yes, sparkles for maybe. What if everything we thought about the Maya was only half the story, and the real secret lies in how they counted the cosmos itself? We often picture the Maya gazing at the stars, mapping the heavens, but their genius ran deeper than astronomy. Their entire numerical system was built on base 20, not base 10 like ours. Why? Because for them, numbers weren't just tools for counting crops or days, they were cosmic codes. Each digit tied into their vision of existence, mirroring the layers of reality: earth, underworld, and sky. Think about it. While we simplify math for convenience, their calculations were a language of the universe. Even their calendars were fractal masterpieces, aligning time with celestial rhythms so precisely, they still astonish astronomers today. They weren't just observing the cosmos, they were communicating with it. So what's your take? Were the Maya's cosmic numbers just math or something more? Drop your thoughts below. Imagine a world where thank you doesn't exist, not out of rudeness, but because gratitude is woven into every interaction. In some languages, there's no direct translation for thank you. At first glance, it might seem strange, even rude. But dig deeper, and you'll find something beautiful. These cultures often prioritize communal bonds over individualism. When someone passes you food, helps you work, or shares knowledge, it's not seen as a favor needing repayment. It's just how life flows, a natural exchange where everyone gives and takes without keeping score. The absence of thank you isn't ingratitude, it's the assumption that help is mutual, constant, and expected. No words needed, actions speak louder. Ever experienced a cultural norm that changed how you see the world? Drop it in the comments. Picture this: deep in the ocean or hidden in a moonlit forest, light isn't just for seeing, it's for talking. Imagine a world where shimmering whispers travel through darkness, where fireflies flash coded love letters, where glowing plankton swirl in synchronized Morse code. This isn't sci-fi, it's Earth. Bioluminescence isn't just pretty light, it's a dialogue older than words. Some species blink to lure prey, others to repel predators, and some just to say, "I'm here." Could this be proof that light is more than a tool? It's a universal language. Think about it. Even stars flicker across galaxies, humming secrets humanity can't yet decode. So next time you see a glow, ask, what's being said? Could we be missing a silent conversation happening all around us? So would you tap into light's hidden language if you could? Drop your wildest theory below. Let's decode nature's mysteries together. What if every word you speak isn't just a sound, but a fossil of ancient friendships, rivalries, and social bonds? Think about this. Why do languages change the way they do? Most assume it's geography, but what if it's deeper? Some linguists believe that the diversity of languages today is carved from ancient social habits. Imagine small tribes where every conversation subtly reshaped words, like a game of telephone across generations. Gossip, trade, alliances, they didn't just influence history, maybe they sculpted dialects themselves. When communities clashed or mingled, their speech patterns collided too, sparking new ways of speaking. So next time you chat, remember, your words might be whispers of something older, frozen echoes of relationships long gone silent. What word do you think hides the wildest history? Drop it in the comments, and let's decode the past together. What if staring into a mirror or a bowl of water wasn't just superstition, but a lost science predicting quantum mechanics? Imagine this, ancient seers gazing into still water or polished obsidian, convinced they could see the future. Now fast forward to today, where quantum physics tells us particles exist in multiple states at once until observed. Sound familiar? Scrying, the act of focusing on a reflective surface to glimpse hidden truths, eerily mirrors the idea of superposition, where all possibilities exist until you look and collapse reality into one outcome. Could these mystics have stumbled onto a profound truth? Maybe their rituals weren't just about divination, but tapping into the fabric of existence itself. The line between magic and science blurs when you realize both suggest reality isn't fixed until we observe it. So was scrying proto-quantum physics. Drop your thoughts below and follow for more mind-bending connections. What if the key to understanding alien intelligence has been lurking in our oceans all along, inside the mind of an octopus? Picture this. An octopus can solve puzzles, open jars, even escape from tanks, all without a centralized brain. Instead, its neurons are spread across its arms, each acting with shocking independence. Now, rethink intelligence. What if aliens don't have a single brain like ours? What if their cognition is decentralized, a network of autonomous nodes working together? The octopus challenges everything we assume about thinking, proving intelligence doesn't need a human-like structure. If life evolves differently out there, their minds might resemble an octopus more than a human. So next time you stare at the stars, remember, the strangest minds might not be in the cosmos, but right here underwater. What's the wildest form of intelligence you can imagine? Drop your thoughts below and follow for more mind-bending ideas. Imagine uncovering a 3,700-year-old recipe, only to realize it's not just about food, but a hidden glimpse into power, culture, and inequality. This ancient Babylonian tablet isn't just the world's oldest recipe. It's a time machine. Written in cuneiform, it details a meat stew, but read between the lines, and you'll spot clues about who really ate like royalty. Lamb, spices, even beer, luxuries most couldn't afford. The elite feasted while laborers survived on barley and onions. The recipe's intricate steps, proof of skilled chefs serving the powerful. So next time you glance at a menu, remember, food has always been about more than taste. It's who gets to eat it. What modern dish do you think reveals society's divides? Drop your picks below. What if I told you time isn't just numbers on a clock? It's written in the stars. Imagine if the way you experience time isn't just about seconds ticking by. It's shaped by the silent, rhythmic sway of planets. Ancient cultures watched the skies, aligning their lives with celestial cycles. But what if that connection runs deeper? Some thinkers believe our consciousness itself is synced to the cosmic dance. When Earth spins, when moons phase, when planets align, could those movements subtly shift how we feel time passing? Think about déjà vu, those moments when time seems to stretch or blur. Maybe it's not glitch, maybe it's the universe whispering. Even modern science hints at how cosmic rhythms, like solar flares or gravitational tides, might influence our brains. So next time you check the clock, ask, Are you counting minutes or swimming in a celestial sea? Ever felt time move differently? Drop your weirdest time moment below. Follow for more cosmic mysteries. Ever wake up from a dream that felt too real, too strange? Like it wasn't just your brain recycling the day, but something more. Think about it. What if dreams aren't just random replays of your subconscious? What if those bizarre, vivid flashes are actually glimpses into a quantum past, pieces of a multi-dimensional puzzle left behind by your soul? Imagine every strange symbol, every déjà vu moment in a dream is a fragment of a larger story, a journey across realities you've already lived. Scientists say our brains process information in ways we don't fully understand. Could those weird dream loops actually be echoes of past existences bleeding into this one? Some believe dreams are more than just mind static, they're messages waiting to be decoded. So next time you wake up from one that sticks with you, ask, was that just my imagination or a window into something much bigger? Have you ever had a dream that felt like more than a dream? Drop it in the comments. Let's decode the mystery together. Imagine if the secret to human teamwork wasn't in boardrooms, but in beehives, because what honeybees do with dance might just blow your mind. Inside every buzzing hive, honeybees perform something called the waggle dance. It's how they communicate directions to food, distance, direction, even quality, all through movement. But here's the crazy part. It's not just a GPS hack for bees. Scientists say this dance is eerily similar to how humans share information in social networks. Think about it, just like bees, we rely on trusted sources to guide our choices. A trending tweet, a viral TikTok. It's our version of the waggle dance, passing tips on where to go, what to eat, even what to believe. So next time you follow a crowd, ask yourself, are we any different than bees, just with smartphones instead of wings? What do you think? Are we closer to bees than we realize? Drop your thoughts below and follow for more wild connections. What if your ability to speak actually started with a wave, a grunt, or a pointing finger millions of years ago? Think about the last time you waved goodbye, shrugged your shoulders, or gasped in surprise. Those movements might be fragments of humanity's first language. Before words, our ancestors likely relied on a rich mix of sounds, gestures, and expressions, what scientists call proto-language. Studies suggest our brains repurposed these primal signals to shape the speech we use today. Even now, when you whisper, laugh, or clench your fists, you're tapping into that ancient system. Maybe true language didn't start in the mind, but in the body's raw, unfiltered need to connect. Do gestures come naturally to you? Drop your favorite emoji in the comments, our modern version of proto-language. What if the colors you see every day exist because fruits were in a battle for survival millions of years ago? Imagine this. Long before humans existed, Earth was a green and brown world where early animals mostly saw in shades of gray. Then fruits entered the scene. To spread their seeds, plants needed animals to eat them, so they started evolving vibrant reds, yellows, and purples, colors that stood out like beacons in a dull landscape. Animals that could spot ripe fruit from a distance had a huge advantage. Better food meant better survival. Over time, their vision adapted, fine-tuning to detect those colors. So every time you admire a sunset or a rainbow, you're actually witnessing the aftermath of an ancient battle, fruits manipulating animals, and animals evolving to outsmart them. Crazy, right? What's your favorite color, and could it exist because of fruit? Drop your thoughts below. Imagine this. What if the Vikings didn't just write history, they performed it into existence? The Norse sagas weren't just dusty old stories scribbled on parchment. They lived in the voices of poets, passed down through epic performances that could last for hours. Every telling wasn't just a repeat, it was a reinvention. Details shifted, heroes grew taller, battles more fierce, because these tales had to captivate live audiences. That means history wasn't fixed. It was a living, breathing thing shaped by the moment, the crowd, the teller's flair. So next time you read a saga, remember, this wasn't just written history. It was showtime for the ages. Think oral history changed the past? Drop a comment with your wildest Viking saga twist. What if the way you feel sadness isn't the only way, but just the only way your language lets you describe it? Ever feel like words fail you? Like there's an emotion bubbling inside you, but you don't have the right name for it? Some cultures have words for feelings that English speakers don't even recognize. Take malu from Indonesia. The sudden awkwardness when you realize you're in the presence of someone more important. Or huzun in Turkish, a deep, collective melancholy woven into the fabric of life. Psychologists call this the language-emotion gap, the idea that the way we categorize feelings isn't universal, but shaped by the words we use. Some emotions might exist on spectrums we've never even named. So next time you struggle to describe what you're feeling, maybe it's not you, maybe it's your language holding you back. Ever experienced an emotion you couldn't name? Drop it in the comments. Let's see if other cultures have a word for it. Think bee dances are just about giving directions? What if they're weaving the very fabric of their survival? Imagine a bustling hive where every wiggle and turn is a lesson, not just a map to flowers, but a tradition passed down to beat the odds. Bees don't just navigate, they dance to share stories of danger, resilience, and strategy. In a world where pesticides and shrinking habitats threaten them daily, their moves might hold secrets to survival. Older bees teach younger ones patterns that outsmart predators or find hidden pollen. What if these dances are a living library, curating knowledge that keeps the colony alive? Some researchers believe these rituals could evolve, adapting faster than genes. So next time you see a bee's flicker, remember, it's not just a GPS signal. It's a culture fighting for tomorrow. Could bee dances be the key to saving them? Drop your thoughts below and follow for more nature mysteries. What if I told you English has just one word for love, but ancient Greek had over 200? Think about it, every time we say love, it could mean passion, friendship, or even just tolerance. But the ancient Greeks, they had a word for every shade of affection. Eros was fiery romantic love, philia was deep friendship, agape was selfless unconditional love, storge meant family bonds, and that's barely scratching the surface. Imagine how precise relationships could be if we still had those words today. Maybe I love you wouldn't feel so vague. Maybe we'd understand ourselves and each other a whole lot better. Which Greek love word do you wish English had? Drop it below. Follow for more mind-blowing facts. What if the reason you can't resist humming along to your favorite song isn't just culture? It's written in your DNA, going back millions of years. Think about it. Music feels instinctive, right? But why? Scientists believe it might trace back to our evolutionary cousins. Dolphins whistle, birds sing complex tunes, and even whales compose songs. These sounds aren't just noise. They're communication, social bonds, warnings, even courtship. Now look at humans. Lullabies soothe babies, drum beats sink our hearts in ceremonies, and a sad melody can make strangers feel the same emotion. The more we study, the clearer it gets. Our brains may be hardwired to respond to sound patterns because survival once depended on it. Those ancient rhythms, still inside us, turning vibrations into feeling, proof that music isn't just art. It's biology, so what's a song that always gives you chills? Drop it in the comments. Let's see how deep this connection goes. Imagine if the way you see the color blue actually rewired how you feel about love or even time itself. Sounds wild, right? So picture this. Cultures with fewer color words think about shades differently. Some only have light, dark, and red, and that changes everything. No word for blue, time feels fluid, not segmented. No green in your language, nature blends into one big color carpet. But here's the craziest part. Your perception of emotions is tied to it too. Red isn't just passion, it's danger in one language, luck in another. The way we label colors doesn't just describe the world, it builds the world inside our minds. Think about it, what color shapes your emotions the most? Drop your answer below and hit follow for more mind-bending facts. Imagine a society with no boss, no manager, and yet flawless efficiency. Welcome to the ant colony. An ant colony doesn't rely on a single ruler barking orders. Instead, leadership emerges from thousands of tiny interactions. Worker ants follow simple rules like sensing pheromone trail, and together they make decisions faster than any CEO. Need food? Scouts fan out. Under attack, soldiers mobilize instantly. No bureaucracy, no delay, just pure, decentralized teamwork. It turns out the best leaders don't dictate, they enable. They create a system where everyone's small contribution adds up to something unstoppable. Maybe that's why ants have thrived for 130 million years. What leadership lesson from nature surprises you most? Drop your thoughts below. Ever noticed how debates online feel like ancient Greek showdowns? Turns out we've been using their playbook all along. Picture this. Thousands of years ago, Greeks gathered in the Agora, their town square, to swap myths, argue philosophy, and shape truths through storytelling. Fast forward to today. Replace marble steps with screens, but the game's the same. We pitch ideas in tweets, spin narratives in comments, and battle for influence with viral threads. Why? Stories don't just share facts, they frame them. The Greeks' new persuasion wasn't about dry logic. It was drama, emotion, a hero's journey. Now every influencer, politician, or coworker channels that instinct. Hook attention, build tension, land the lesson. Even Google's algorithms favor narrative structure, beginning, middle, end. So next time you're crafting a post or parsing a hot take, ask, is this truth or just a really old storytelling win? Think your last argument had Greek flair? Drop your best rhetorical move below. Let's see who's the modern Socrates. What if I told you time isn't something that happens to you? Your brain invents it as you go. Here's a weird thought. Time doesn't tick forward like a clock. It's more like a story your brain tells itself. Every memory you have gets stitched together into what feels like a past, present, and future. Imagine your brain as a film editor, constantly splicing together scenes to create the illusion of flow. If your neural pathways decide to slow down or speed up, like in moments of fear or focus, time itself warps for you. Even stranger, without memory, time might vanish altogether. Your experiences don't just happen in time, your mind builds time out of them. So, has your brain ever played tricks with time? Drop your weirdest experience in the comments. What if I told you time doesn't tick the same way in every brain? Think time is just seconds, minutes, hours? Wrong. The way you speak might warp it entirely. Some languages see time as physical distance. That meeting is near, making time feel like space. Other cultures tie it to events, like before the harvest, framing time as a cycle, not a line. Your brain doesn't just track time, it rebuilds it based on how your language trains you to think. So next time you're running late, ask yourself, is time real or just lost in translation? How does your language shape time for you? Drop a comment, let's unravel this together. Imagine this, your brain doesn't forget by accident. It chooses to erase for a reason deeper than you think. We think forgetting is a glitch, a sign of a faulty brain, but what if it's the opposite? Ancient wisdom suggests memory loss isn't random. It's a deliberate reset. Picture your soul carrying every trauma, regret, and heartbreak from lifetime to lifetime. Without forgetting, the weight would crush you. So your mind lets go not to fail you, but to free you. Shedding old pain makes space for growth. Every blank moment, a chance to rewrite your story lighter, wiser. Forgetting isn't losing, it's soul-level recycling. Ever feel like a forgotten memory saved you? Drop a brain below or tag someone who needs this reset. What if the words you speak aren't just words? They're a mirror of your brain's hidden structure. Think about the way you talk, the patterns, the rhythms, even the order of your sentences. Science suggests that the structure of our brains doesn't just process language, it shapes it. So when we communicate, we're not just sharing ideas, we're revealing the unseen wiring of our minds. This could explain why certain phrases feel natural to you but awkward to others, or why some languages flow differently. If this is true, then every conversation is more than just exchange. It's a peek into how our brains see the world. Imagine if we embraced this. What if we redesigned education, diplomacy, even relationships based on how we think, not just what we say? How do you think language shapes your mind? Drop your thoughts below. Let's rethink communication together. What if the first words ever written weren't about kings or gods, but receipts for barley? Think about it. Sumer was built around the Tigris and Euphrates, where sprawling farms needed precise water control. Tracking who got how much water, who owed crops, or when to plant, it wasn't just record-keeping, it was survival. Early symbols, they look like grain sacks and canals. Even temples doubled as bureaucratic hubs tallying resources. So maybe writing wasn't born to tell stories, but to stop fights over farmland. Civilization didn't bloom from poetry, it grew from accounting. Would you trade epic poems for a tax document? Drop a yes or no below. What if time wasn't just a ticking clock to ancient people, but a living, breathing force that dictated their entire way of life? Imagine a world where time wasn't measured in seconds or deadlines, but in the rise and fall of rivers, the dance of the stars, and the rhythm of the seasons. Ancient civilizations didn't just live in time, they were part of it. The Egyptians aligned their pyramids with celestial events, the Mayans built calendars tracking cosmic cycles, and agrarian societies planted crops based on lunar phases. Time wasn't something they controlled, it was a force they surrendered to. Decisions weren't rushed but flowed with nature's tempo. Wars, harvests, even festivals were timed to cosmic harmonies. Today we chase minutes, but they understood time as something far deeper, an endless cycle connecting life, death, and rebirth. Do you think we've lost something by reducing time to just numbers? Drop your thoughts below, and if this blew your mind, follow for more culture mysteries. Imagine staring at an object so hard that it literally changes shape. Sounds impossible, right? What if I told you it happens all the time? Here's the wild part. Some experiments suggest that mere observation can alter reality at the smallest scales. Think of particles behaving like waves until you measure them, then, bam, they snap into defined positions. It's as if reality waits for a conscious observer to make up its mind. Some scientists argue this means our awareness isn't just a passive spectator, but a fundamental force shaping existence. If true, every time you look at something, you might be nudging the universe itself. So next time you glance at the stars, ask yourself, did they always look like this, or did your observation change them? Think your thoughts shape reality. Drop a comment with your wildest theories. Let's blow some minds together. Imagine walking a labyrinth, twisting, turning, lost in thought. But what if every step was actually guiding you toward cosmic alignment? For centuries, labyrinths were dismissed as mere puzzles or art. But dig deeper and you'll find something astonishing. Ancient cultures designed these spiraling paths with precision, not just to confuse, but to awaken. Think about it. Our brains recognize patterns, and labyrinths mirror the fractal designs found in nature, from galaxy swirls to the veins in a leaf. Walking them wasn't just meditation. It was a ritual to sync human minds with the universe's hidden rhythms. Could these sacred mazes have been early consciousness technology? The deeper you go, the more the borders between science and spirituality blur. Ever walked a labyrinth? Drop a comment if you felt its mysterious pull, and follow for more mind-bending deep dives. What if writing wasn't invented to remember, but to rewrite history itself? Think about this. The first written words appeared in ancient Sumer over 5,000 years ago, but what if cuneiform wasn't just for keeping records? Some scholars believe it was a tool of power, a way for rulers to control what people remembered. Before writing, stories changed with each telling, facts twisted by time. But once words were etched in clay, history became fixed, controlled by whoever held the stylus. Imagine a world where memory wasn't yours to keep, it was written for you. Was writing the first form of mass mind control? Want more mind-bending history theories? Drop a comment and follow for your next obsession. What if the first human conversations weren't spoken, but danced? Imagine a world where movement, not words, held the key to our survival. Picture this. Tens of thousands of years ago, before language as we know it existed, early humans gathered around flickering fires under starlit skies. Instead of exchanging words, they moved in sync, fluid, rhythmic, deliberate. These dances weren't just for celebration, they were survival. A stomp could signal danger, a sway might mean unity before a hunt, and a synchronized circle could reinforce trust. Without a single syllable, dance created shared purpose, binding groups together long before sentences could. Some researchers believe these rhythms may have even laid the groundwork for language itself, patterns in motion evolving into patterns in speech. So next time you dance, remember, you're tapping into humanity's oldest, most primal form of collaboration. Do you think dance could have come before words? Drop a fire in the comments if you believe movement shaped our history. What if every nightmare is actually your brain running a life-saving drill? Imagine this. Your brain isn't just replaying random thoughts when you sleep. It might be secretly preparing you for real-world threats. Some scientists believe dreams evolved as a way to rehearse dangerous situations without real risk. Think about your most intense dreams, being chased, falling, or facing a predator. These could be simulations, sharpening your instincts while you sleep safe. Even bizarre dreams might be testing creative problem-solving for unpredictable dangers. So next time you jolt awake from a bad dream, don't panic. your brain's just leveling up your survival skills. Ever had a dream that felt like training? Drop your wildest one in the comments. What if the tone of your voice wasn't just how you spoke, but the reason you made the choices you did? Imagine waking up to a world where scientists confirmed that your voice doesn't just communicate, it controls your morals. Deeper voices might trigger aggression, while softer tones could make someone more compassionate. Authorities might regulate vocal training like therapy, ensuring no one's pitch pushed them toward crime. Employers could screen voices for ethical resonance before hiring. Parents might modify their kids' speech patterns to instill good values. And worst of all, voices could be weaponized. Imagine a criminal whispering a phrase that rewires your sense of right and wrong. Would you trust a world where voices dictated morality? Drop your thoughts below and follow for more mind-bending questions. What if every word we speak today traces back to our ancestors' desperate battle against storms, droughts, and predators? Picture this. Our earliest ancestors didn't just grunt and groan randomly. Their sounds were survival tools. A sharp warning cry for predators, a melodic hum to coordinate hunting, even rhythmic chants to predict seasonal changes. Over millennia, these urgent sounds crystallized into structured language. Imagine a storm cracking overhead. Some proto-human shouts a syllable meaning danger, and suddenly the whole tribe understands. That shared moment of survival might have birthed the first real word. Even today, languages worldwide carry faint echoes of nature's power, like how harsh consonants often hint at danger, while softer vowels mimic comfort. Our speech isn't just sound. It's a fossil record of humanity's struggle to conquer the wild. Think about it. What's one word that feels primal to you? Drop it in the comments. We'll decode its possible ancient roots. Did you know the way you talk might secretly control how fast life feels to you? Imagine this. Your native language doesn't just let you chat about the weather. It might literally change how you feel time passing. Some languages, like English, demand speakers to specify time clearly, past, present, future, shaping a linear, rigid sense of time. But others, like Mandarin, treat time more fluidly, describing events as up or down instead of forward or back. Studies suggest this makes Mandarin speakers more comfortable with flexible deadlines compared to English speakers, who feel urgency tied to time's arrow. Even how far away something feels changes. Spanish speakers who say the meeting was moved forward can't agree if it's sooner or later without context. Your words might be building invisible timelines in your brain without you even noticing. Think your language affects how you plan your day? Drop yes or no in the comments, and follow for more mind-bending facts. Imagine walking through ancient Rome, not through grand monuments, but through the scribble on its walls, stories of love, loss, and camaraderie that feel strangely familiar. When we think of Roman civilization, we picture mighty emperors, epic battles, and grand architecture. But the real pulse of daily life beats in something far humbler: graffiti. Scratched into walls and taverns, these messages reveal a world where people expressed love, heartbreak, jokes, and even petty gossip. A wife writes to her husband, "Come home safely, I miss you." A gladiator boasts of his victories. Friends leave inside jokes, rivals hurl insults. What's striking? Their emotion is unmistakably human, just like ours. Cities full of stone, yet alive with laughter, longing, and loneliness. If anything, their graffiti proves that no matter how ancient, people have always been people. What do you think? Are our emotions truly timeless? Drop a comment, and don't forget to follow for more history mysteries. What if animal sacrifices weren't just about pleasing the gods, but unlocking the secrets of nature itself? Picture this. Thousands of years ago, ancient civilizations didn't just kill animals for divine favor. They were trying to decode the very balance of life. Sacrifices were early science experiments. When they offered animals to the gods, they were tracking patterns, animal populations, weather changes, even food scarcity. They believed these rituals could predict disasters, protect crops, and maintain harmony with nature. It wasn't just superstition. It was humanity's first attempt at ecology. The blood spilled may have been a brutal method, but the motive, a desperate grasp at understanding the fragile bond between humans and the natural world. So, do you think ancient rituals held deeper wisdom, or were they just superstition? Drop your thoughts below.
Imagine a world where the deadliest weapon was just a rock. This is how bullets changed warfare forever. Long before modern guns, armies relied on slingshots and arrows. But in the 14th century, everything changed when the first true bullets emerged, small metal balls fired from early hand cannons. By the 1800s, bullets got a major upgrade with rifling, making them spin for deadly accuracy. Then came the brass cartridge, allowing rapid reloading and turning battles into high-speed death matches. Today's bullets pierce armor, fragment on impact, and even track targets. What started as a simple rock is now a precision-engineered killing machine. What's the craziest bullet fact you've heard? Drop it in the comments. Fire.
What if every sound you hear isn't just noise, but a whisper from the universe itself? Imagine this. Thousands of years ago, civilizations built monuments that hummed with sacred frequencies. They tuned their music, chants, and even temples to vibrational harmonies. Why? Because they believed sound was more than just waves in the air. It was the unseen language of creation. Modern science confirms that everything in the cosmos vibrates, from atoms to galaxies. Could ancient healers have unlocked a truth we're only now rediscovering? That vibration isn't just physics, it's the universe speaking directly to us. Some researchers think sonic waves might even influence DNA repair or emotional balance. If sound connects us to the fabric of reality, then maybe healing isn't just medicine, it's music written in the stars. Have you ever felt a deep shift from music or sound? Drop your experience in the comments. Let's decode the cosmic vibrations together. Imagine if one sentence could hold 5 different meanings. What would that do to history's greatest thinkers? The ancient Greeks laid the groundwork for Western thought, but what if their language had evolved differently? Picture this. A writing system that didn't just record ideas, but could layer them, where a single text could shift meaning depending on how you read it. Suddenly, Plato's dialogues might have had hidden contradictions preserved, Socrates' debate could have been even more complex, and entire philosophies might have branched into entirely new directions. This what-if isn't just about words, it's about rewriting how knowledge itself is shaped. Maybe we'd see conflict as richness, truth as flexible, and debate not as a battle, but as an ever-unfolding conversation. What do you think? Would this have made philosophy more profound or just more confusing? Drop your take below. Imagine if every bite you took wasn't just about hunger, but a coded message from your ancestors. Think about this. The next time you taste something bitter, sweet, or sour, you might be experiencing more than just flavor. Scientists now believe our ability to taste wasn't just about survival. Those intense cravings or aversions could be echoes of your ancestors' emotions and experiences. Sweetness may be linked to comfort and safety. Bitterness, a warning, sure, but also tied to cautionary lessons passed down through generations. Some researchers even suggest that these taste sensitivities shaped early human bonding, like sharing food to build trust. So when you savor something delicious, you might not just be feeding yourself, you could be reliving a piece of history. What's one taste that instantly brings back a memory for you? Drop it in the comments. And if this blew your mind, hit like and follow for more fascinating theories. What if everything we think we know about freedom and individuality comes from the wrong source? We often credit ancient Greece and Rome for shaping our modern ideas of freedom and individuality. But what if the real influence came from much earlier? Hunter-gatherer societies thrived for thousands of years with no kings, no rigid hierarchy, and no strict rules. Just small, tight-knit communities where decisions were made collectively. These groups valued personal autonomy within the group, sharing resources and responsibilities equally. Unlike the rigid class systems of later civilizations, hunter-gatherers lived in a world where cooperation and individual freedom went hand in hand. Their way of life may have planted the earliest seeds of what we now call democracy and personal liberty. Do you think modern society has lost touch with these ancient principles? Drop your thoughts below. What if the secret to unlocking your DNA has been hidden in plain sight, through the power of sound? Ancient civilizations like the Egyptians, Hindus, and indigenous cultures didn't just use sound for music. They believed it shaped reality. Sacred chants, vibrational tones, and even pyramid acoustics were tools to alter consciousness and activate untapped human potential. Modern science now hints at something wild. Sound waves can influence DNA expression. Imagine, our ancestors may have known frequencies could awaken dormant codes within us, sparking healing, intuition, or even unexplainable abilities? Were they onto something we're just rediscovering? Have you ever felt the power of sound shift your mind or body? Drop a frequency in the comments. Let's decode this mystery together. What if the ticking clock isn't real? What if time is just your brain playing tricks on you? Picture this. Every moment you experience isn't just passing, it's being constructed by your brain. Scientists suggest that time isn't some universal constant, but a biological illusion shaped by how fast your neurons fire. Think of your brain like a movie editor, stitching together moments to create a smooth, flowing experience. Faster brain activity might make time feel sluggish, while slower processing could speed it up, like how a terrifying fall seems to last forever or a fun hour vanishes in a blink. Even your heartbeat can distort time's flow, with studies showing your pulse literally warps your perception. So next time you feel time dragging or flying by, blame your brain. It's the ultimate timekeeper, and it's not always honest. Ready to question reality? Hit like and drop a comment. How does time warp in your life? Follow for more mind-bending theories. Beneath your feet, forests are whispering secrets, not just surviving, but thriving through an underground network of cooperation rivaling human diplomacy. Imagine a hidden internet made of roots and fungi where trees trade nutrients, warn each other of danger, even favor their offspring. No competition, just collaboration. Scientists call it the Wood Wide Web, and it rewrites survival strategy. Weak trees get fed. Sick trees get medicine. It's nature's version of social welfare, all without wars or borders. Humanity struggles with scarcity, but forests prove sharing creates abundance. What if we took notes? Conflict isn't inevitable, it's a choice. Trees choose teamwork. If forests can cooperate without ego, could we? Drop a seedling below if you join nature's peace treaty. What if I told you the shape of your social circle predicts your success better than your personality? Imagine your social network as a web. Some people have tight-knit circles, while others span vast, loosely connected groups. Research suggests that those with diverse, far-reaching networks, bridging different worlds, often land better opportunities, ideas, and even happiness. Why? Because innovation and luck thrive at the edges of different groups. Meanwhile, tight-knit networks offer deep support, but can limit fresh perspectives. So whether you're a connector or a tight-circle person, optimizing your network's shape might just be the key to unlocking your next big breakthrough. Which network style fits you? Drop a comment below, tight-knit crew or wide-world connector. Follow for more life-changing insights. What if I told you that the way you speak could be secretly warping your idea of time, pulling the past and future closer or pushing them further apart? Time feels universal, right? The past is behind us, the future ahead, except not everyone sees it that way. Some languages, like Mandarin, treat time vertically. The past is up, the future is down. Speakers of Aymara, an indigenous language, imagine the past as in front of them because it's already known, while the future lurks unseen behind. Even English nudges us to see time as a line we're moving along. But what if, growing up with a different language, you actually experience time differently? Researchers think so. Grammar, metaphors, even how we point might quietly reshape reality in our minds. So next time you're late, blame your language. Which way does your brain map time? Line, circle, or something wilder? Drop your thoughts below. What if the words you speak aren't just tools? They're the invisible threads stitching together your entire sense of self. Think about it. Language isn't just how we